Okay, so welcome to this training on graphics design. So, first and foremost, you are welcome to this session. If you have checked the flyer, you notice that it's going to be 5 sessions. So we are going to within 2 weeks we are going to have 5 classes. So the purpose of the section is that at the end of those 5 classes, you would be able to at least create nice flyers. Right? I cannot promise that you become at least a illustrator or creating 3D models in 2 weeks, but at least be able to create nice looking flyers, even if it's just for yourself or for your business. And using the Medillery templates, you can just edit them and use them for your brand needs. So are we cool with that? Are we together? Please, if you can hear me, can I get a response?
Yes, sir.
All right. Lovely. So let's go. Graphics design. So should I say maybe I should say by definition, what is graphics design? Graphics design is just the idea of visual communication. That is communicating.
Hello, sir. Please, sorry for cutting you short, sir.
Yeah.
Please, is this session being recorded?
Yeah, it's being recorded.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right. So it's the idea of visual communication using how do I put it? There are different methods or different means of communications, and graphics design provides a method for us to communicate things through things that we actually see, because human beings naturally, we are, should I say, moved by things that we see, things that we see, things that we hear, things that we feel, right? So when we actually see something, it kind of stimulates that kind of feeling within us. For example, if you're designing a flyer for maybe a brand that sells food, right? So you would want something that when they see it, it kind of incites that feeling of hunger, right? If you are probably selling maybe fried chicken or whatever, so you put a picture of that chicken that would, if possible, get them hungry at that instant. That's what visual communication does. So nobody wants to read long, boring lines of text and what have you. But if you create something that actually looks nice and presentable, looks nice and pleasing to them, it would drastically engage or drastically increase the the engagement or the views that you have, right? So graphic design is a means of visual communication by creating flyers or whatever kind of content that will be cut on or presented on a screen or print media. That is, your flyers could possibly be intended for just your your phone screen, probably a laptop screen, probably your tablets or whatever kind of screen, and it could be flyers that you print, but it still follows the same pattern, it still follows the same idea. Are we good with that? Now, so like I mentioned, the key focus of graphics design is communication. And what kind of communication? Visual communication, right? So you would want to do what is, should I say, pleasing to the eyes of your audience. Now, if you notice most of the should I say, big social media apps these days, if you write a long kind of text, probably on WhatsApp, on Facebook, on Instagram, they would automatically shorten the text, and they'll give you the option of reading more, right? Read more. So when you read more, you would if you attach it, like for example Facebook, if you attach a photo, you would get the image enlarged, like the photo will be enlarged, but the text itself will be shortened, like read more, right? Now why is that? It's because they want you to see the picture. They want to. Yeah, can you hear me? Somebody's talking in the background. Please, can you mute your mic? So anyways, so they want you to see pictures, they want you to see something that will visually stimulate you, and not just long lines of text. So nobody wants to read your entire story. You can write pleasing stories, whatever. Psychology shows that the average should I say, attention span of people is actually very short. Within a couple of seconds, within few seconds, you have to get your people to you have to get people to actually like you and engage or understand what you are talking about, right? So within that, should I say, within that short period or within that lifespan that you have, you have to what you can use to grab the attention quickly is pictures. So that's why you need not just you don't just need graphics, you need actually nice graphics. So for a kind of case study, I'm sure most of us might have seen graphics that are not so nice before. So I initially thought I would bring some here that would just look at them and say these are not good graphics, but I thought against that. So I'm sure many of us in one way or the other we have seen designs that are not very okay, that are not nice, and we have and you might have looked at it. The fact that someone can come up with a design, it means that the person already has some idea of design. For example, if the person uses Corel Draw to design, it means that he knows how to use Corel Draw. But the design is still terrible. Why? Because there are some key, should I say, fundamentals. There are some principles that the person has failed to understand or failed to put in place. So it is those things that we would first consider in this first class, and then in subsequent classes we'll go fully into designing and working on the Medillery website. So I think I've covered definition and importance. So fields, there are many different fields of design, of graphics design. I think I've given a little bit of preview into that as I was talking. So I said in design generally there are different fields of design. You can talk about architectural design, fashion design, interior design. Even under graphics design we have a poster design, flyer designs, motion, UI UX design, and all of that. So our focus here throughout this session will be on flyer design, so that you can create flyers for your brands rather. And subsequently you might want to become professionals on the Medillery platform. So we also have applications. So applications, where can we where can we apply these skills? So I think I have also given us a kind of breakdown into that, so we can apply this in our should I say our day-to-day running of our business. Many people have I know some people that for their business they are trying to use a Canva and Pixela by themselves and all of that. So it's not so should I say not so easy or not so professional when they are doing it by themselves, because they have not really gotten these skills. So if you are designing for yourself, this is going to be a very good opportunity, a very good platform for you. And even if you are not designing for yourself and you want to become a professional, these the skills that you will get now would be very beneficial to you. So without wasting much of our time, I would go into basic design elements. And now, when I'm talking about basic design elements, we're talking about what are the items that you would first notice. Like when you see a design and you say, okay, this is a design, like what are the things that make up that design? What are the elements of a design? Just like in a house, what makes up a house is the block, that carries the wall. That's the wall. That's the main part of it. You have pillars that support the roof. You have the roof itself, and all of that. So there are also many different elements that make up a nice design, right? So I think the very basic item is a line, right? So we have lines in any kind of design you might think of. Artists will tell you that there are no lines in nature. That is, lines are kind of figments of our imagination. But any design you can think of has borders, and those borders are made up of lines, right? So for example, if you look at the screen that I'm presenting, this is a kind of template that I designed. So it has a border, right? This is kind of rectangular. Now, so what makes up this rectangle is 4 lines, right? We have a line by the left, another line by the right, another line at the top, and at the bottom. So even the text that you are seeing on the screen, they are made up of what? They are made up of lines themselves. So the first thing you have to understand is lines. And I think I have something. Yeah. So a line is used to connect any 2 points, and they are used for what? Dividing space and drawing the attention of eye to a specific orientation. So if I using this kind of orientation, like I have a rectangular kind of portrait orientation here, it's because of the lines that I use. I use a kind the lines that I use on the horizontal level are wider, so it gives you that kind of horizontal point of view. So when you look at this screen, the first thing you see is Medillery graphics design training, and then you look towards your right, you see basic design elements, and then you read the corresponding things beneath it. So it kind of guides the flow of your eyes by giving that kind of frame, that kind of pattern to your design. Followed by that is shapes. Like I said, the lines make up the shapes. The very basic or should I say the most basic of all those elements is the line, and these lines, the congregation of lines, a group of lines, make up a shape. So we also have okay, let me use that side. I think I have a little bit of explanation. Okay, yeah, shapes are defined by boundaries such as lines or color. So everything is ultimately a shape. So I think I've given that explanation of this rectangular shape that we have here. We also have size. Let me go with size next. So size is playing with, we already know what size is, from this big
Mr.
conversation.
Michael.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir.
We can only see a black screen. We can't see any other thing on the screen aside a black screen.
A black screen. Wow. Let me stop sharing and start again.
Okay, sir.
Is that the same thing everybody's saying? Let me.
Yes.
Wow. I asked initially if we could see my screen. I thought some people say they could, so I thought we were all on the same page. So let me go. Can we see now? Can we see the screen now?
No, just a black screen.
I just okay. Let me stop sharing and start sharing again.
Can you start sharing? Okay,
let me start. Let me present again.
But I don't share screen. Most of the painting present.
Sorry about that. Wow.
Sorry.
Okay, let me restart WPS because I'm presenting a slide actually. So let me restart that. So sorry about that. I initially thought that everybody could see my screen. So for the benefit of those who are just joining, so while I restart, I just gave a kind of brief introduction into graphic design. So I told us that graphic design is a means of visual communication with a purpose, right? So you don't just design because you feel like, okay, you know what, I think other people are designing, so let me design. There's always a message you want to pass across. There's always some action you want to initiate, right? So for example, if you have seen the reason why most of us are here, or should I say all of us are here, is because we have seen the flyer that we sent out, right? And the flyer actually said that you actually invited us to this training and said, okay, we are hosting a training for so and so number of days, and we want you to join, right? So there was a message we were trying to pass across, and we actually invited you to join. So for your business or for your brand, a flyer design will have that effect, and so you want a very try to say communicative flyer, a flyer that speaks the mind of your business, that tells people what exactly is on your mind. Okay, I think my problem is WPS. Let me use okay. So after I'm sorry, I'm still going to present the screen, but the is not responsive. So after the introduction, I did a kind of intro into the graphics design elements. Though I'll still show all of that graphics design elements, and I started with lines. Okay, I think PowerPoint will work better. So into graphics design elements, and I think the most basic element is lines, right? So any design that you might have seen, any kind of art or whatever, it's the foundational element of it is lines, and those lines make up shapes, right? So after you notice lines, you notice shapes. Then I think I'm getting. Okay, let's share now. Yeah, can we see this now? Can we see the screen now?
Yes, sir.
We can see the PowerPoint presentation, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
okay, lovely, lovely.
you can see it.
Okay. So let me.
Yes, sir.
So like I said, the purpose of graphic design is to communicate your idea or your message to people, right? So it's a means of visual communication. So people don't want to read long lines of text. So you have to try to, compress it into something that can visually stimulate us. I gave the example of probably if you are designing for a food brand, so you want something that kind of, the moment they see the flyer, they get hungry, like they want to eat, right? So that's the kind of message you want to pass with your design. So psychology has shown that naturally we are stimulated by motion first, and then things that are more related to nature. So in the order of things, number one would have probably videos, then number two would have pictures before we can have text. So if you are going to create a flyer for your brand or for whatever it is that you're going to create it for, there's going to be that visually stimulating appeal to your designs. So that's the importance of graphics design. And I say there are many fields in design generally, and even in graphics design, but for the purpose of this training throughout, to be focusing on flyer design. And as I've said, the application is for our brands and for us to become professionals, if we so wish, on Medillery at the end of this training. So line, shape, and I think I'm on shape now. Yeah, I think I just finished. Okay, I finished explaining shape and I'm on size. You can still see my screen, right? Can
Yes,
we
sir.
see? Yeah, lovely. So playing with the size, shapes, and types of elements should help us add interest and emphasis. So subtle differences suits professional content, while bold ones prefer creative enterprises. Now, size helps us give order and hierarchy to our design. For example, back to these are basic design elements. For example, the heading is basic design element. So automatically, you don't need someone to interpret it for you that okay, this like there is an order. If you look at this image, right? So you look at if you are reading this screen, you see basic design element, and you see line, shape, size, value, texture, and all of that. So there's no way you see this design and you start reading from white space, right? There's no way you see this design and start reading from value. So the way you size your elements gives a kind of hierarchy. Automatically, I know that the topic on this particular page is basic design element. Why? Because it has a bigger size. So size helps us to give hierarchy and proportion in whatever we are doing. So I'll give us practical examples too, but we just need to have this basic knowledge. So like I said earlier, some people might have knowledge of the software, but they don't have knowledge of the basic elements that make up design. So this is why you can see someone create a design. For the fact that you actually create a design, it means that you already have knowledge of the skill set. But for you to actually create a good design, that means you have good understanding or in-depth knowledge of what the ideals that make up that skill set or that concept, right? So next we have direction. So horizontal direction suggests calmness, tranquility, while vertical gives a feeling of balance, formality, and alertness. So direction, mostly one of the ways we achieve that is through your orientation. So like this orientation that I'm using now is very very much horizontal. It's called the portrait orientation. So it gives that feeling of stability and calmness. So sometimes you might design something and you have that kind of vertical rectangle rather. So it has the feeling of what? Formality and alertness. So we have texture as well. So texture is used to create a three-dimensional appearance. For instance, if you look at the background I have here, I have this wavy kind of liquid background. So that's the texture that I created on it. And okay, I don't want to go into color and typography because we are going. I'll take those ones as separate slides. And finally, we have value. Value is the lightness or darkness of a color. It is used to create a focal point and to create the illusion of depth. So the human eye is drawn to an element of contrast in this background. So the easiest way to explain it is, an element on the background, right? So this background I'm using all throughout these slides are light background, so light blue and the likes. So if you are going to put anything on this background, you have to put something dark or something bright, right? So if I wrote white text on this background now, it will not be visible. It will not be coherent. So you have to balance the contrast between your text. So if I was using probably a dark background, I would want to write it white. Good. So now in addition to elements, we have principles, right? Now principles are a little bit different from elements. You know, elements are what you see when you look at the design, like what you can kind of point out. When I give you the design, say, what do you see on this design? I can tell you, okay, I see a shape, I see a picture. Okay, yeah, just think, okay, it's not among the elements, but a picture can be part of your elements, right? You designed, you had a picture, and okay, and like that. But now, principles are kind of the ideals, like the guiding principles, like it's like the formula that you use in creating your design. Now, I think in a way I've mentioned contrast when we're talking about value. So contrast is simply that rate of, you know, change or difference between two elements. You know, for instance, this light and black background, this light background with the dark text, right? So there is vivid difference between elements in the design. So they don't blend with each other, and each of them takes up its own space. That's contrast. Scale is the same thing as size. So you use a smaller scale or a smaller size for things that you don't want to give much proportion. For example, Medillery graphic design training, I just want it to be, you know, evident on every screen. So it's not important for me to display it so large. That's why it's small. So that's a small scale, right? Harmony can be achieved in many different ways, and one of the ways is through color, right? For example, the Medillery logo has this pink and blue kind of color. So all through my designs, including the training and this slide, I use that blue, and I played around with that blue and pink color. So anywhere, you know, just by looking at this, you know, this slide, that flyer, you know that these are related. They are part of the same thing, right? That is harmony. So if you are designing for a brand, for example, you have a logo. You know, some people make that you designed probably today you use a green background. Tomorrow you are using purple. Next tomorrow you are using brown. Like, where is all of that coming from? So you create harmony by being consistent. So you can be consistent in the use of your background, in the use of your color, in the use of your font. Next thing is repetition. So you can, you know, pass a message across to people. There's this principle in business and marketing that says know, like, and trust. That means for you to actually, you know, relate very well with a business or a brand, you first know them, then you like them, then you trust them. Now, so you can't trust someone you don't know, right? And you can't like someone you don't know, right? So it comes by repetition, like little by little passing that your message across to them. So I'm sure many of us might have seen that flyer multiple times. So repeating something in our memory, you know, it kind of, you know, creates that kind of you know, that foundation of knowledge within us. So in the same way, in graphics design, we can repeat elements. I think I did something like that where I repeat. Okay, it's on my last page. So I think we'll get to that. The next one is dominance. So dominance is giving priority to one element. So and dominance can be achieved through scale and also through color. For example, basic design principles is my header. So it has a different color and a different size, right? Then there is movement and there is variety. So movement is simply just the way your elements are oriented. So it doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, it's just like the flow of your. So for example, if you look at normal writing flows from left to right. So if you look at this thing is flowing from left to right. Some things that you see, they flow from top to bottom. So for example, if you design a flyer now, you want your flow to be from top to bottom, so you put the header at the top, then probably further information at the, you know, towards the middle. Then you can put date and time, you know, at the bottom. Some people they can put time at the bottom. They'll put venue at the top. So you know, you look at the time and begin to look at where's the venue on this flyer. So such a thing is it's a crime, right? Then variety. So you want to add different things, different elements to spice up your design. So without wasting much of our time, color theory, a dash of colors. So if you look at this, you know, this text that I wrote here, can someone please tell me, does this look nice? I'm expecting a response, please. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm saying, does this look nice?
For me, yes.
Well, for you, yes. Can I get somebody else's opinion? Okay, I think we have something that says yes, it looks nice. So let me see if we can manage that. But I would say this is a no. Like, I think somebody else is talking. Are you responding, or probably it's a mistake? Okay, in any case, so this is a crime. Like when it comes to graphic design, this is a crime. So there's that consistency in the use of colors, right? You first have to know what kind of colors that you are going to use for probably your brand or whatever. For example, can anybody think of a popular brand? Okay, probably MTN, right? We know MTN, right? So what are the colors of MTN? Yellow, right?
Yes.
Yeah, lovely. So imagine you now see a poster of MTN and they designed it with green color. Automatically it looks like this is not. It doesn't look real. It doesn't look serious to you. Like you think probably this is some scammer or something, right? So if you see Facebook, Facebook's color is blue, and you see probably you visit Facebook one day and you are seeing purple everywhere. Like, am I in the right place, right? So colors are part of your brand identity. Colors are part of your presentation, part of everything. Like I said earlier, that the design I did for that, the flyer I did, and this presentation, they follow the exact same pattern. So once you're on this page, you already know that okay, this is part of the same family. This is part of the same the same league. So you don't just mix colors anyhow. So there is should I say an idea or a whole concept, a whole school of thought. When you're talking about color, you can study color for a long period of time. So the first thing you have to do is pick basic colors. There's some colors that are bright, there's some colors that are dull, right? Like this, this is gray, this is dull, right? Something like this. Those colors are dull colors, and we have bright colors that call attention, like this yellow, like red, like blue and purple. Those are the colors that from a distance you look at your screen and you see them, right? So whenever you are trying to design, as much as possible, you try to pick just one bright color, or if possible, maybe a maximum of 2 bright colors. Then you combine it with a dark color or a dull color, right? So if I'm using yellow, like MTN now, MTN uses yellow, right? And then they use a dark kind of blue, something like this one I'm moving on, and that's the only 2 colors they need. I think now they have rebranded and they're using yellow and black alone, right? Facebook uses blue and white alone. So when you are designing, you must always limit the use of your colors, right? Always limit the use of your colors. So you should never be you're not trying to design a rainbow, please. So you're not trying to design Joseph's coat of many colors. So as much as possible, you would look for what they call complementary colors. Complementary colors are colors that go well together, colors that work well together. So it shouldn't be a dash of colors. It shouldn't be a spread of colors, right? So as much as possible, limit the use of your colors. So on your design, 2 colors, 3 colors, like I think 4 colors are okay, like manageable. But then you are seeing 6 colors, 7 colors, there's a problem somewhere. So as much as possible, you will limit the use of your colors. So if you see purple, you are saying purple. Okay, this design, what color is this design? Okay, it is green and blue. That's nice. But you say the design is brown and yellow and blue and green. No, there's a problem somewhere. Are we getting it? Are we with me?
Yes.
Okay, lovely. Thank you. So okay, in addition to that, there are some colors that are neutral colors. That is white and black. So whenever we are designing, we can always make use of white and black just to add that nice and cool touch to our design, just to go with the flow. So as much as possible, like I said, limit the use of your colors. So you use a bright color and a dark color. For example, if I want to design, I think I can work with this yellow and this brown, right? Yellow and brown, I think they work. I can use yellow and blue, so not that you take purple, you take blue, then you add it with I don't know, peach or whatever. So like in this case now, I'm using only blue and pink. So, and that's what I'm maintaining all throughout. So it adds coherence, it adds unity to your design, right? So let's go. And the next thing is typography. Lovely. So when you are writing, like writing a note or whatever, your handwriting, right? Anything you write by yourself will definitely show your handwriting, right? Now, but when you are creating anything, probably on screen, or you are designing your flyer, you don't have your handwriting. You have what we call a font, right? So a font is just like your digital handwriting. So on your flyer, even if you are familiar with, I don't know, software in any way. So if you have been writing Word documents or whatever, you'd have come across a font before. So fonts are just your digital handwriting, and now there are different families of fonts. So at the basic level, all you just need to know is serif, sans serif, and script. So in case you are writing, serif is serif, sans serif is san, then space serif. So serif is just simply a kind of line, just a kind of. I didn't use any serif fonts. I think. Let me see if okay, yeah, this works for me. So you see this text typography that we have here. We can also see this screen, right? So typography here, if you look at this T, you know the strokes of the T should be this vertical and this horizontal. But at the edge, we have these extra extensions. These extensions are what they call serif. So fonts that have them are called serif fonts, right? So if you know fonts like Times New Roman, they have serifs. But there are some fonts that don't have all those extra additions, right? They are just kind of plain and direct. And like this font that we have at this color, right? And even the same font, the font I've been using all throughout my design. So that it doesn't have serif, so it's a sans serif font. Now, you should know how you are going to, should I say, order or arrange your font. Okay, let me give you the third type so that we can just move on with that. So the third type is another type. Let me know the third type. Another type is script. So script is a kind of font that looks like handwriting font that has a kind of playful and curved format or form to it. So like this design element, it looks a little bit like my handwriting. But my handwriting is not that nice. So it looks like handwriting, right? So that's those are cursive or scripts, right? So we also have some fonts that are just like playful or artistic, like this shape, right? This is a custom font and it was created with literal shapes. So in your design, the simplest of flyer designs, like for someone that is just coming on, you try to use a kind of template for your designs. So a kind of template that you want to use is something like you'd want an heading at the top of your design, then the body of your design follows, then other information. So the heading you want to do something catchy, something bold, right? Like typography I have here is catchy and bold. So how do you do that? So you use fonts that have that bold feature. So there's what we call a font family. So when a particular kind of font that you have, that you kind of choose, this font that I use here is called Alerion. Alerion. So Alerion has bold, extra bold, semi bold. So if you have used Microsoft Word before, so you'd have seen all those features, the extra bold. So if you cannot get all of that, it's not a problem, because I would when we are using Medillery to design, I'll show you bold. I think we have it clicked on Medillery too. But you just get that principle that this particular font has that bold feature. So you want your initial text, or should I say your header text, to be bold, to be huge, right? So that feature is what you have I have here. So, and a lot of the times you'd want something that is kind of official. So for something that is official, for something that is just that has that normal and catchy flow, you would want something that is sans serif, right? And if you want something that is a little bit looking like typing, this, if you look at this typography, it looks like the default font on your Microsoft Word. I think it's Times New Roman. So that's why you use a sans serif font. And if you want something that has that playful element, playful vibe to it, you would use a script or an artistic font. So as much as possible, you can try to combine different fonts while you're designing. It's okay to use different kinds of font throughout your design, but you also, just like in colors, in colors, the standard number of colors you should use is like about 3 colors. If you're using 3 colors, you are good to go. But the same thing for your fonts, right? If you're using 2 fonts, 3 fonts, it's more than enough. So by the time you're using 4 fonts in the design, it becomes a problem. It becomes an eyesore. For example, throughout this entire design, I use just 1 font. So it's the same font I use all throughout. So fonts can also be used to create order and hierarchy. So order and hierarchy. So in the same way, it's the same font, but this one on top is bold and is bigger, right? This one at the bottom is not bold. This one is in capital. This one is not in capital. So it creates that order. So automatically you know where the flow of this thing goes, right? So the next, and probably one of the most important parts of today's class is images and resources. Now, when you are designing, like I said, you want to add visual cues, or should I say visual elements, right? Something that will make your that your viewers would relate to. For example, like I said, if you are selling shoes, for instance, now you want to put pictures of shoes like naturally, right? So if you are going to add pictures of shoes, probably you might have your own products that you just attach to it. But sometimes you might have to go and download pictures. Sometimes it might not be pictures, it might be icons. Whatever it is that you need, there are going to be a lot of resources that you need as time goes on. For instance, this background that I did not create the background, right? I downloaded it from somewhere. So you need background. Sometimes you need pictures, and So I will teach you, like I will show you some sites that you can use to get pictures and resources. Okay, I'll differentiate between those resources before we go into those sites, and then we'll do a little bit of editing of those resources. So initially we have what we call rasters and vectors. What is a raster? A raster is a picture, a normal picture that you can the flyer that you saw, or any other kind of picture. Now why do we call them rasters? Because they are made of what they call pixel elements, picture elements rather. They are called pixels. I don't know if we can see the pixels on these things. Okay. Now if you zoom, okay, I think this one is actually the slide I used is actually of a high quality, right? So I was hoping I could see the pixels on these ones. Right. Okay, let me go to these other pictures. If it's not high quality, you might be able to see the pixels on them. Okay, lovely. I think this works. Now if you look at it from a distance, it looks very nice and very catchy, right? But if you zoom in, you will see that it is made up of small items that they are now breaking apart as you zoom in more and more. Now those items, they are like little boxes that get filled with colors. Those boxes are called pixels, right? Now any picture or any item that is made up of pixels is called a raster in graphic design, right? Now an item that is not made up of such pixels is called a vector. I mean, those vectors are written in a way that is like kind of code that the computer interprets. So even if you keep on zooming them, it doesn't pixelate. Like it doesn't have that kind of blurry effect. Don't worry. I think probably while we are designing, we would still get the hang of it. But just keep in mind that pictures, or should I say, pictures that you use normally, they are rasters, and I'll show you how you can download and do a little bit of editing on that, right? So, okay, I think I've explained the rasters and vectors. So let's go to downloading. So the first site I'm going to show you is called freepik.com. Okay, let me switch my screen to screen. Yeah. So let me go somewhere else. So we can see my screen now. Freepik. Can we see my screen? Can we see my screen, please? I need a response. Are we together?
We can't see your screen, sir.
How about now? Can we see it now?
Okay, now we can see.
Okay, lovely, thank you. So, like I said, the first site we are looking at is called freepik.com, and that is www.freepik.com. You can see it, right? We can see it, right? Okay, I would assume that is a yes, so that I think we have already spent a lot of time, so I wouldn't want to waste time. So, Freepik allows you to download any kind of assets. For example, maybe you are selling shoes. Now I can just say, okay, shoes, right? I just say probably shoes, right? So, okay, I don't need shoes. It will automatically display results that that's related as possible. Yeah, sorry for the network. Yeah. So automatically, Freepik is giving me samples like different kinds of shoes that I would want. Yeah, this network is poor, but I think we are still following. So I just searched, a random idea, shoes. So if we wait for this to load, we would get different options. Like by ourselves, even if you are selling shoes, for instance, you might not be able to take professional pictures, right? Even if you take pictures that are nice, there may be some, a particular brand or a particular concept that you want to share that you cannot create by yourself. So that is where this kind of resource is coming. So if you want to create pictures of food, for instance, maybe you are I don't know, you are selling food or whatsoever, and you might not be able to get really good pictures by yourself. So that is where sites like this come in. So Freepik brings a wide range of alternatives or a wide range of options. Sorry for the poor network. I don't know why it should be faster than this, but I think we are getting the idea. So the first is freepik.com. So this is where I go to by default, if I need anything, I just come to free pick and I download. There are many others. Maybe I don't know if I can type on here. Nope, I cannot type on it. Okay, I would share another screen where I can type, so that. So okay, let me share this tab instead. You can see my Google screen, right? You can see my screen, right? No, I'm no longer on free pick
Yes.
page. I'm on Google. So we have let me just type the. So we have freepick.com. So that's number one. So we also have vectizi.com. Vectizi.com. So sometimes when I don't have ideas self, like I just probably want to download for a like a shoe brand or a food brand, I just go to these sites, and based on the kind of pictures that I see, it kind of gives me ideas. Now you can see pictures from pixabay.com. So I'm typing them out in case any of us wants to note it down. So pixabay.com. So you can see 4.1 stunning free images to use anywhere. So we also have pexels.com. Pexels.com images also. So any of these images that you also get are royalty free. So I was in a class of recent, and they are talking about using royalty images. For instance, now you are designing something that has to do with probably father, mother, and children, and you just took a random picture somewhere, and you just brought it into your design. And you now have the image, like the people in the picture could just walk up to you and say, how come you are using our picture in our image, and how come you are using our picture in your design rather? Like it's just small scale stuff. It doesn't matter. But when you are designing for big corporations, these kind of things matter, right? So apart from those copyright issues and restrictions, it's also the issue of quality. So you want pictures that are actually nice and professionally taken. So that is why you would use this kind of sites to get images. And also another very important one is google.com itself. So this particular Google, even if you have no idea of where you are going to, you can just Google it, and Google will give you roughly to take you virtually anywhere. So let me just search for smiling. I think I searched for this today. Smiling boy image, yeah. So I need an image of a young boy smiling, right? So I just go on Google, and it gives me many options. So I'll use this to also explain a concept, or should I say an idea to us as well. So let's see the smiling boys that we have. So yeah, okay, yeah, I forgot to mention unsplash.com. So remember that. So unsplash.com. Unsplash is UNSPLASH. Now, okay, these are very nice images. I particularly like this one. These download smiling boys. So all of them are really very nice. So depending on that, you can change the prompt. As a graphic designer, you have to learn to use Google better than average. So if you want a black smiling boy, you say dark smiling boy, happy boy, happy African boy, like different kind of prompts like that to give you the kind of thing that you want. And now this is what I'm going to. Now I mentioned earlier that we have different kind of images. We have rasters and vectors, right? So this kind of image, now if you look at it, is an illustration, right? It did not take it to the camera, so somebody created it somewhere. So it's very likely that it is a vector. Now, in addition to that, it is from one of the sites we have even that I gave you guys, Pixabay. Did I give you Pixabay? I think I did. So, anyways, Pixabay. Now, if you try to download this image, I think many of us download images like this. We do like this. You right click and choose something like this. Save images, right? I don't know if many of us do this before or know how to do this. Now, if you notice, this image tries to save. I don't know if you can see that screen, right? This is trying to save. So it tries to save as a web file. So we cannot do that. Like don't save like that, right? So if you want to save, the best thing to do to actually get your image right is to actually go to the site, visit the site, and download, right? So let's. I think I like this image from unsplash.com. So probably I'll visit Unsplash. So let me switch to this tab. So the network is still very poor, but I think it can still do the work we need it for. Okay. So I think I should just manage this young man before all the nice ones. Okay. I particularly like this one that is smiling. So once you have seen one that you like, let me wait for this to finish loading. So like I said, you have many different ways you can prompt or change your search query and so on and so forth. So just wait for it to finish loading, and then we'll click on that particular image that we want, or we can just click on download photo from right here. So once if you download the image directly from the site, so it eliminates all kind of restrictions. Also, it gives you the image in high quality. So whatever design you use it for, whether you're designing for a billboard or a flyer or whatever, it's going to be nice and it's going to be very clear, right? So I think I can download now. Can I? Probably I should change this network. So give a shout out. Okay, I think it's about to download. That's why we're having that. So we just wait for it to respond and download, and I think I'm good. So anyways, so probably we can still keep exploring this site while this keeps loading. So most of the sites work in the same way. Even if you go to freepik.com, in the same way you download this, you select the particular image that you want, and it will automatically show you the options. Sometimes you have the options of downloading from different qualities. But whatever the quality that you choose, it will be really nice, and it will just be really worth it. Yeah. Okay, the image is actually a very large size image. That's why it's slowing down. Okay. I don't know if I can get something that is smaller in size, but regardless, maybe I should use one of the Google photos. So okay, all these are actually very nice. Okay, back to my I think the shoes page have actually not everything, but as we can see we have a wide range of options, and they're actually really nice. So okay, my download is in progress. That is this guy, but it's showing me 3 minutes left. I don't know if so as soon as we download that, I'll just show us how to remove background from an image, and I think that will be the final thing that we'll do for today. So so the assignment will be based on that too, and I'll just give some I guess announcements, and I think we'll call it a night. So by the way, thank you all for joining. So let me admit everybody from me. So my image is still downloading. So the size is actually very large. Okay, so while it's downloading, the name of the site where we actually remove images is called Remove BG. It's actually an AI site. So removebg.io. So I'll switch to the tab. Let me switch to this tab so I can type it. So we can see this tab, this Google tab, right? So we have remove BG. So remove background from image. Very free. So it's loading, it's coming up. It's actually an AI site. I recently discovered it myself. Before I usually design, like when I need to remove background, I'll take it to Photoshop and start manually removing backgrounds and all of that. So when I find this out, when I found it out rather, I was surprised that I never thought it would be so efficient, right? Until I actually tried it and I saw it was really nice. So the name of the site again is Remove BG. So what it does is that it helps you to remove the background from your image. Okay, let me see if I can show us something on this page, right? Let me go back to my presentation so that I can show us some the effect of actually removing the background, as like the importance of it. So I would present my my PowerPoint slide again. Open it. Okay, I think I can edit now. Yeah. So let me bring in a picture from one of my documents. Rabbit, let me go to downloads. I think I must have a picture that is transparent. I don't know if I have a transparent picture here. Okay, this is a normal. This is a regular picture now. Now what you notice is that if you take a picture into your design, this is a picture now, for instance. Okay, sorry. Let me switch my screen sharing page. Sorry. Yeah. So let me undo this. So if you bring in an image, let me just bring in a random image. So something that is not important. So we can see that this is an image of a dog, right? Now, the normal image format, like that is the way that images are saved, is called JPEG format. Now, this JPEG format, one of the characteristics of it is that it has background. Like, I think that's the easiest way to explain it. For example, when I brought in this dog, rather, all I need is this portion, like where the dog is, right? All this white around it, I don't need. They're useless to me. So I might want to put my dog somewhere at this portion, but I don't need all of this white space that are reflecting, right? So all I just need is this, this portion occupied by the dog. So when you want your elements to interact with your design, you don't need them to have their own backgrounds. That is the main reason why we are going to be learning to remove backgrounds, because when you are going to be editing on Medillery, you don't have the option of removing backgrounds. So you just bring in images, edit images, and the templates that are already there, just edit them and just bring in one or two images. So remove BG gives you the opportunity of removing background, using them the way it suits you. So that's why it's very important that we learn it. So I think I can even remove the background from this image just to show what I'm talking about. I think that works, right? So let me go back to remove BG. Let me show you back. Let me show you my screen. So let me switch to this tab. So stop sharing. I think I have, yeah, remove BG. So we can see remove BG, right? We can see remove BG, yes or yes? Are we together? Can we see this remove BG, please? Hello, are we together? I believe we can, because from my
Yes, sir.
I just want to yeah, exactly. So I believe we can, but I just need to confirm from everybody. So now that same image that I brought in, I can just upload it to remove BG. I will just take the image and drag it. There are different ways. You can click upload image. Maybe I should click upload image, because so I'll just go to the particular image, or if you want, if you're using a system like me, you can just drag the image in. All you just do is open it on remove BG, and automatically remove BG begins to work on the image and removes the background. So it's based on network, of course, but I think it should be done in a very short while. So upload so to show me the original and the removed. So it's processing. Lovely. Look at it now. Good. So this is the original. If you notice, this original has a white background. I mean, while the removed background, instead of white, it has this this is called a checker. Yeah, checker. And this checker is, if you see this checker anywhere, it means that it's a transparent background. That means where there's supposed to be a background, it is empty space. So I think I can explain this in that, like it's like a vacuum, right? So if I put this image anywhere, it would only put this dog. It's not put that white extra frame or whatever around it. So all you just need to do is download it. Now I was mentioning that the format of that initial image, or a normal image, is what they call JPEG. So these kind of images are called PNG. So you may not be very conversant with it right now, but just understand that PNG images, they're the ones that have that don't have that can have the opportunity of not having background. They're the ones that support that kind of format. So the image that I just downloaded is now in my downloads. So let me just refresh, and I think, okay, yeah. So remove BGPU. So let me go back to my PowerPoint presentation and show you what it looks like when I put it in. Right. So let me switch my screen to my PowerPoint. Stop presenting. So let me shift the presentation. So back on PowerPoint. So this is where we left off. You can see PowerPoint now. Let me delete this. So simply I'll bring that image, Frenchy image, whatever, and I dump it in PowerPoint, and I expand. Can we see that? Can we see it? Hello, are we together?
Yeah, yes, I can see it.
Exactly. So this is how to remove images, so simply, without stress and without hassle. So we would need this skill like a whole lot, because virtually all the images that you need, except you are going to use the background like that, create a kind of frame for it. But
Ted, why can't you make this tutorial in the platform? I mean, on WhatsApp.
I said I need to share my screen, so like there are some things I need to show you what I'm doing. So I will give a kind of breakdown, like a kind of recap on the platform. But I will not be able to share share my screen on WhatsApp, but I'll give a breakdown on the platform. Also, the assignment, like I said, you just send your pictures that you have removed the background, and if you have any questions, definitely send them on the platform, and I would reply on the platform. I think that works now. I think that works, right?
Yeah. How do we have to be recorded?
Yeah, so I believe it will be posted. It will be posted on the Medillery YouTube channel. So further information concerning that will be given to us. So in addition to that,
Thank you very much.
yeah, you're welcome, sir. So we should note that there's going to be a challenge, like a design challenge at the end of this training. So after the 5 days, so there will be 5 classes. So at the end of the 5 days, we are going to have a challenge. So I will give you guys a brief, like something to design using Medillery, and whoever does best would get a prize of 10,000 naira. So at the end of the challenge, also the winner will also be tasked with we have a kind of initiative that we are going to bring up. It's called the Help a Business Initiative. So we would help a business by having the winner, the person has proven himself to be should I say a proficient designer on Medillery. So the winner will be tasked with helping that business to design a flyer for their brand. I think we understand. So like I said, the winner will get a prize 10,000, and you will also be tasked with designing a flyer for a brand. But I'll give us further information in the next class. So hopefully by Sunday we would have I would have designed the flyer, hopefully, and so I would present it during the class. So if we don't have any questions, do we have any questions? Let me know as well if we have any questions. Do we have any questions?
Next class.